From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is 1011's Morning Pulse.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.
Good morning, I'm Jackson Wilford with your Morning Pulse for Monday, July 8th, 2024. Lincoln police say a 20-year-old is now behind bars following a shooting on Friday that has left one man dead. Giavion Creighton is facing charges for first-degree murder and use of a firearm to commit a felony, according to jail records. That shooting happened Friday evening around 10 in the Russ's Market parking lot near South Coddington Avenue and West A. Officers found a 25-year-old man there with a gunshot wound and took him to the hospital, where he died from his injuries. But not much else is known about what led up to the shooting, and police aren't looking for any other suspects, but are asking with anybody with information to call Crime Stoppers. And over in western Nebraska, a man is in custody after a nearly 2-hour-long standoff with law enforcement. The Alliance Police Department responded to a disturbance on Friday just before 7:30 p.m. involving a dispute between neighbors. According to police, witnesses said Dylan Kaiser was pushing and hitting a neighbor. When police attempted to take Kaiser into custody, he fled to a nearby tire shop and barricaded himself inside. Authorities say he was possibly armed with a gun and made several threats. Additional agencies did respond, and after about 2 hours, Kaiser surrendered and was arrested. He's facing pending charges for terroristic threats and resisting arrests. Now in other news, at least 348 people have signed state affidavits claiming they mistakenly signed a petition. No more than 300 of those individuals are now asking to have their names pulled from the Protect Women and Children's petition. This reporting comes from the Nebraska Examiner, which says this amount is the most filed against a single ballot initiative with the Secretary of State's office. The previous record was nearly 200 filed last year. But despite the large number and growing concern, county election officials say there are still in the early stages of verifying signatures, with about 40 days and some change to complete that process. You can read more about this on the Examiner's website. Now let's end those Monday headlines with a heartwarming story. Since 2016, Lynette Gentry has completed more than 2,700 rides for Uber. Her profile lists her as a diamond-level driver, the highest status that one can achieve. But perhaps her most incredible achievement is one you can't find on her profile, a lifesaver. One of her regular drivers, Don Kubik, suffered from a stroke while in her car less than a mile from his destination. But it may have been the best place for both of them to be. Lynette sprung into action, calmly calling an ambulance and staying with Don until help arrived. Don ended up recovering well, and he was discharged from the hospital. It was Lynn that picked him up, giving him a ride home, going above and beyond the call of duty for an Uber driver. Now let's round out the start of your week with a look at the 7-day forecast.
You've been listening to 1011's Morning Pulse. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.